Christian. Here's Christian.
How
What's
you
up,
doing,
Christian?
T? How are you? I'm here with my son at my son's karate practice, but I want to mention something to you. You're absolutely right about Andrade. Canelo
Hmm.
has been ducking him because stylistically,
Hmm.
Andrade is all wrong for Canelo. He's too
Yes.
long. His footwork is on an elite level. He will tag him from a distance all fight long. Canelo's feet is too slow to cut the distance and counter. That's why he won't fight him. He will never fight him because of that reason. If I were Andre right now, I would move up to 168, invoke Rule 6 of the WBO rules to become the WBO mandatory,
That's
or
right. He should. I
move
agree.
or move up to 175. Fight Beterbiev. He
Mm.
can beat him because he has the frame. If he beats Beterbiev, it'll put more pressure on Canelo to fight him.
Absolutely. And then people couldn't say he hasn't fought nobody anymore because that's the main thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because everybody's ducking him, and as a fan, I'm pissed. I'm pissed at what I'm seeing. Hold on. Let me step out.
Get the
Let me
karate
step out.
practice.
Yeah. Listen, as a fan, I am pissed. And especially the way Canelo behaved at conference. The way he started cussing out his father, and actually threatening him, violating the cardinal rule of the streets. You never threaten another man while you're hiding behind a podium with security. What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
that's soft. That's soft. Like, and I called him out for that. I called him out for that in my video when I was talking about that. I'm like, how you gonna be all tough when you're behind 4 security guards and you got your promoter and your trainer and 2 more other security? It's ridiculous. It's punk stuff.
It is ridiculous, And when Andrew went in there, he was respectful. He'd said nothing to give Canelo cause to start cussing him out like that and throwing f-bombs and threatening his father. And for all these Canelo fanboys to sit there and applaud that shit, I'm like, what? I mean, it's like, bro, are you fucking men or a bunch of pussies? Because
I
men
would
don't
say
do that shit.
they don't. Those are female tendencies.
Exactly. It's like, man, where's your manhood at? I mean,
Yeah.
if someone did that to you, what would you say? I mean, you'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm glad I noticed some of your videos. You've been calling out Canelo on his bullshit, and I'm glad. That's the kind of shit that needs to be said by more people on social media, because what we're seeing right now is the biggest farce in boxing.
It is, and I'm gonna keep fighting the good fight and calling them out as long as I have a platform.
Yes, and I know that Andrade. If I were you,
Mhm.
get a hold of him and tell him, listen, go to 175, because I know that right now he has the frame and the skill set to beat those guys at 175. And that is going to create a lot of problems for Canelo, because it's going to put a lot of pressure on him to actually fight him.
Absolutely.
Because if he goes to 168 and invokes Rule 6 of the WBO rules, watch Canelo drop the belt. Watch him do that.
He might retire. He might retire from boxing.
Exactly. I mean, this guy has been ducking him his entire freaking career, bro. And it's blatant. It's plain and obvious to the naked eye that he's been ducking the guy.
Yeah.
It's
so in your face, but people don't want to accept it.
But it is. If you look at the press conference after the Daniel Jacobs fight, he said in Spanish, "Yo quiero los 4 títulos." Translation, I want all 4 belts.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, the guy with the last belt, the last boss, was Andre. What did he do a month later? He dropped the WBC belt for the franchise belt. That took away Undisputed off the table.
Yeah.
And then the IBF, the month after, ordered a purse bid for the Deveryachenko fight. Then on August 5th, almost 3 months later, he petitioned.
Come with a timeline.
I got the timeline down. He petitioned the IBF to listen, give me an extension. I want to make a fight with Andrade. The IBF said, too late, because you didn't comply with the rules. You should have requested this before we sent out the purse bid. So it begs the question, what was Andrade and what was Canelo doing for 60 days after he said, I wanted to be undisputed? Come on, bro. This is freaking pathetic. The guy is a fucking coward.
Yeah, a disgrace to boxing and Mexican fighters.
And all these fanboys, they applaud this shit. I mean, I don't fucking get it. I mean, I grew up watching Hagler, Leonard, the 4 Kings. The
Real
best
fighters.
fought the best. The best fought the best. There was no motherfucking ducking. What the fuck is this shit that we're seeing today? When the face of boxing is a PED drug cheater, and he's ducking the best competition, and he thinks he's above the competitive integrity of the sport, and media is behind him, the state of boxing is in bad shape.
And that's why you have that's why you have Jake Paul and you have all these celebrity fights, and that's why there's a market for that, because the best fighter isn't fighting the best fighters. And
they are, yeah, exactly. And then when you talk about, look at his resume. Resumes don't win fights. Skills do.
That's right.
So when they say, well, Canelo can walk through Andrade because look at his resume. No, he can't. Boxing is a relative sport. Just because A can beat B doesn't mean that A can beat C simply because B beat C. It's a relative sport. Variables change fight to fight. And a lot of these Canelo fanboys don't understand that Canelo's biggest weakness in his game is his slow feet. And someone like Andrade will exploit that because he has a 5-inch reach advantage. And Plant will do the same thing. Yeah. Because Plant has the has a similar skill set.
Yeah, sharp puncher, knows his way around the ring, pivots really nicely. Good counter puncher as well.
Exactly. And you're right about the Kovalev fight. Kovalev, for whatever reason, didn't shoot the right. And when he shot the jab... in his
back pocket the whole fight.
Exactly. And when he shot the jab with force, it stunned Canelo. He couldn't come forward. He couldn't plod forward. Then, for some inexplicable reason, as the fight wore on, Kovalev stopped shooting the jab with force. He started shooting it passively. And what happened? Canelo was able to walk in range, put his lead foot on the line, and he was in range to counter, and he got on the inside. So it made no sense, but when you think about, there are other factors that went into that. One, Kovalev not the same guy. Number two, he fought him on a short turnaround. And number three, he agreed to a rehydration clause because a payday mattered more than winning.
It did. It did, man.
So like I said, keep up the good work, bro, and keep calling out this fraud because that's what he is.
Absolutely. We're going to do that soon. We're going to keep doing that, and hopefully in the near future, I can get Demetrius Andrade to come on the show and talk to him.
Bro, yeah, and tell Demetrius, go to 175, because he can beat those motherfuckers up there, too. I know he can. I know about IC. The eye test, he passes the eye test. I know what I see in his skills. He could beat those guys, because these guys, those guys at 175 and at 168, they're stiff. They don't move. They're there to be hit.
So, from your perspective, how good of a fighter do you think Demetrius Andrade is? Because people say he's not that good. I know how good he is, but what do you think about his skills?
Listen, from 154 to 168, nobody beats him. And I'm sure he beats everybody at 175.
Absolutely.
Because listen, think about this. When Floyd was fighting, he fought Canelo. But at the same time, did you ever hear Floyd call out Demetrius Andrade?
No, never.
No, because Floyd's not fucking stupid. Floyd knows that Andrade would have been all wrong for him because of his long arms, his hand speed, and his footwork.
And the angles, he's awkward
and
too.
The angles. So Floyd knows, but he picked Canelo because he's easy work. He's slow and flat.
And he was.
And he was.
Shut up.
And people say that Canelo improved since the Floyd fight. No, he didn't. He is slick above the waist, but he's not slick below the waist.
Facts.
Those are facts.
The only thing that really changed with him after the Floyd fight was the fact he got a bit more composed in the pocket with the shoulder movements, but that's about it.
That's about it. And then think about, why did he pick, when he was at 160, why did he pick, what's this guy? Daniel Jacobs instead of for unification rather than Andrade. Slow feet. Jacobs is there to be hit. He isn't slick, and he's been knocked out before.
And he's not a hard puncher either.
No, and he's not. And he's got a weak jab. He has no jab. If one of the things that you do need to stop Canelo is a strong jab. And Andrade has that. But not only that, Andrade has elite hand speed where he can clock you with a lead uppercut. Very few people can do that. That takes elite hand speed to hit someone with a lead uppercut. That's what Canelo
most fighters can't do that.
No, he's the only guy that I've seen that can do that. Maybe Boots Ennis can do it because Boots Ennis is another monster.
Yeah, he might be
You
the
know,
most skilled welterweight on planet Earth, but we
well,
gotta
he
see.
is. In my opinion, Boots Ennis beats both Crawford and Spence if they were to fight right now.
Yeah, I don't know
Like,
about Crawford. You think Crawford as well?
I think he beats them both. He's slicker than Crawford. Crawford has a tendency that he has defensive lapses, but Ennis is a different beast, bro. He's like Crawford, but on steroids.
Yes, speed, defense, angles, power. Got
Yeah,
that same
that
killer
guy is
instinct as
like
well.
exactly. That guy is phenomenal. But listen, keep up the good work, man, and keep calling
Hey,
that clown out. He's a
Christian,
fraud. I'm
one,
talking about
one more thing
Canelo.
before you go. Are you from South Florida?
I live in Miami, bro.
Oh, because I saw on the back it said South Dade. I'm from South Florida too.
Yeah, listen. What's your email, bro? Because
Um,
you're on your Instagram. I'll message you on Instagram,
yeah,
and I
measure.
definitely want to
Yeah,
talk to you offline,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I live in I actually live in Homestead. I live in Homestead.
bro. I
I'm
live in
very
Homestead too, bro.
yeah, small world.
Yeah, bro. How funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, I'll message you on Instagram later tonight, okay? And then maybe we can talk offline, okay, man?
All right, Christian. Nice talking to you, man.
Okay, man. Have a good day. All right,
All
bye.
right,
Bye.
there you have it. That was hey. You see, I tell you guys all the time. South Florida is different, man. That was one of South Florida's very own. Christian, that's my first time talking to him. I never talked to him in my life, but it was great talking to him. He knew a lot about boxing. He stopped. He was so spirited about what was going on. He stopped. He was in the karate class. He was in the karate class, and he had to put people on game. So I appreciate his insights, man. Shout out to my guy